Welcome back to FlyEaglesFly News, where the focus is entirely on the Philadelphia Eagles and the roller coaster that has been this season so far. There is no denying it. The Eagles are sitting comfortably at the top of the NFC East, and that position was secured without even stepping on the field this week. The other teams in the division just couldn't keep up. Washington fell last night, the Giants stumbled as well, and all of a sudden, the Eagles are the #1 seed in the NFC, the #1 seed in the division, and fans are feeling that sense of calm that comes from knowing your team is in command. It's a position that gives confidence, but it's also a reminder that nothing in football is ever guaranteed. The moment you think you have everything figured out, a team like the Panthers can come out and shock the world. Speaking of surprises, the Green Bay Packers thought they had an easy week ahead. They looked at the Panthers and saw an opponent they could roll over, a team that supposedly would not challenge them, and they started thinking about Monday night and how they were going to handle the Eagles. But the NFL doesn't work that way. The Panthers managed to pull off a 16-13 victory, and it showed the dangers of underestimating any opponent. Jordan Love, who had been a source of hype and high expectations, faltered against a strong defensive unit, making mistakes that reminded everyone that he still has a lot to prove. Meanwhile, Michael Parsons, who had been talking about the importance of preparing for Philly, ended up facing the consequences of not focusing on the game in front of him. It's a classic example of how attention to detail matters and how every team, no matter how confident, can slip if they overlook even one factor. This week is a perfect illustration of why the Eagles have maintained their status at the top. It's not just about having talent on the roster. It's about consistency, preparation, and capitalizing on the mistakes of others. The two games that the Eagles did not win this season were both instances of the team beating themselves, moments where small errors led to bigger consequences. Defensive lapses, missed opportunities, and moments where focus wavered resulted in points left on the field and opportunities lost. Against Dallas, for example, the defense didn't perform at the level necessary to secure victory, and it's exactly those types of lessons that guide the team moving forward. The goal now is to stay sharp, prepare thoroughly for each matchup, and ensure that every quarter is played at the highest intensity. There is no room for complacency, especially when the NFC East has proven to be unpredictable. The Panthers' upset over Green Bay is a reminder of just how fragile momentum can be in this league. Teams can appear unbeatable one week and then struggle the next. Fans of the Packers have to confront the reality that their team has weaknesses, particularly in the offense, which was held to 16 points. The Eagles, on the other hand, have shown that even when they are not on the field, their reputation and performance set a standard that other teams are measuring themselves against. It's a position of strength, but it's also a challenge. To maintain that position, to continue to improve, and to address any gaps that might allow another team to rise unexpectedly. The Panthers exposed certain vulnerabilities that other teams are now paying attention to, and the Eagles can take those lessons to heart when preparing for future matchups. Meanwhile, the trade rumors swirling around the league add another layer of intrigue. The Bengals, for example, have been connected to potential moves involving players like Trey Hendrickson. After a crushing loss, the idea of restructuring and moving key pieces becomes more than just speculation. It becomes a real possibility. Teams are constantly evaluating their rosters, looking for ways to improve, and the Eagles have been active on this front as well. Players like Jalen Phillips have been mentioned in trade discussions, and the strategy behind acquiring talent is about more than just filling immediate needs. It's about long-term planning, about understanding which pieces fit into the overall scheme of the team. Philadelphia has shown that they are not afraid to make bold moves, and sometimes the names in the rumors are just the surface layer, distractions from the actual strategy that the front office is executing behind the scenes. The way the Eagles have approached trades and roster improvements reflects a chess-like mindset. Every move is calculated, every decision is part of a broader plan, and it's not always easy to see the end game from the outside. Fans may hear about certain names in the media and assume those are the targets. But often the real acquisitions are more subtle, designed to address specific gaps or to provide depth in positions that matter most. The acquisitions that did happen, like Jaire Alexander and Michael Carter, were not major headlines before they were finalized, but they were critical additions to the roster. This approach ensures that the Eagles continue to build a team capable of sustaining success over multiple seasons, rather than chasing headlines or reacting to immediate pressures. It's a philosophy that emphasizes patience, strategy, and foresight. And while the trade rumors dominate the conversation, the focus remains on performance. Players have to show up on the field, execute their assignments, and rise to the occasion. The quarterback room, for example, may not be the flashiest, but developing talent, ensuring that backups are ready, and maximizing the potential of every roster spot is part of what makes the Eagles a disciplined and effective team. The defense, constantly analyzed for weaknesses, is expected to perform consistently. Defensive ends, linebackers, and secondary players are evaluated not just for their individual skills, but for how they fit into the broader system. And that attention to detail is what separates successful teams from the rest. Throughout all of this, the message to fans is clear. The Eagles remain a dominant force in the NFC East. The combination of smart management, disciplined execution, and the ability to capitalize on other teams' mistakes has set the stage for a promising stretch of the season. The Panthers' win over Green Bay, the struggles of other division rivals, and the constant swirling of trade rumors all contribute to a dynamic landscape. But the Eagles are in control. With the bye week giving the team time to rest, evaluate, and prepare, the path ahead looks promising. The challenges are real, but the foundation is strong, and the team is positioned to continue its ascent. This is a team that understands the importance of focus, preparation, and execution. Every matchup matters, every play counts, and the leadership within the locker room ensures that players are held accountable to the highest standards. The NFC East has been unpredictable, but Philadelphia has weathered the storm and emerged as a steady presence at the top. The fans can feel it, the league can feel it, and the Eagles themselves know that maintaining this level of performance requires constant attention to every detail, from the playbook to the sideline adjustments, to how each player approaches their role every single week. As the season progresses, the spotlight inevitably turns to potential trades and roster moves. And while the Eagles have been methodical in their approach, the rest of the league is constantly in motion. Teams like the Bengals have been linked to moves involving Trey Hendrickson. And while last week it seemed like a definite no, suddenly conversations have shifted, and now the possibility of a trade feels real. It's a reminder that nothing in the NFL is ever static. Front offices are always assessing, reevaluating, and recalibrating based on performance, injuries, and unexpected outcomes. Philadelphia has been clever in navigating these waters, quietly acquiring talent without making the headlines. And fans often only see the tip of the iceberg when rumors start swirling in the media. Jalen Phillips, for example, has been a name floated in conversations, and while there is interest, the specifics of salary, fit, and potential impact are all part of a larger chess game. The Eagles are not just chasing names. They are evaluating systems, schemes, and how individual players can elevate the overall team. It's about understanding the balance between immediate production and long-term planning, and Philadelphia has demonstrated that they can manage both simultaneously. Trades are not always about immediate excitement. They are about positioning the team to win not just this season, but seasons down the line. Sometimes, the players you see in media reports are decoys, distractions from the real target, and the front office thrives on this strategic opacity. Meanwhile, on the field, every matchup continues to serve as a proving ground. The Panthers' recent victory over the Packers was a stark reminder that no team is invincible and that focus and preparation are crucial. Jordan Love's struggles in that game underscore how even talented quarterbacks can falter when facing disciplined defenses, and it highlights the kind of attention to detail that the Eagles demand from their roster. Defensive strategy, execution, and adaptability have become central to Philadelphia's success, and it's not just about star players performing well. It's about a cohesive unit functioning at a high level across all four quarters. Mistakes are magnified in the NFL, and the Eagles' leadership has emphasized accountability, ensuring that each player understands their role and the consequences of underperformance. The quarterback room, while not the most celebrated, plays a vital role in the team's stability. Developing depth and ensuring that backup options are prepared for any scenario is part of a comprehensive strategy that many teams overlook. The Eagles understand that a strong supporting cast around the starting quarterback can be the difference between a playoff run and an early exit. Likewise, the defensive end and linebacker positions are scrutinized for fit, versatility, and impact. Trades, draft picks, and free agent acquisitions are evaluated with a lens toward how they complement the existing roster, and Philadelphia has been deliberate in making calculated moves that align with their broader vision. While trade rumors dominate conversations, the underlying message is that performance on the field remains paramount. Players like Jair Alexander and Michael Carter, acquired quietly, demonstrate that the Eagles are not simply reacting to the media narrative. They are building a roster that can sustain success under pressure. The team's approach blends patience, foresight, and strategic execution, which separates them from teams that chase headlines or overreact to short-term results. It's a mindset that allows the Eagles to maintain their position at the top of the NFC East while continuously improving. Fans may focus on names and speculation, but the reality is that the Eagles' advantage comes from preparation, depth, and a commitment to executing at a high level. Defensive units are expected to perform consistently, quarterbacks are expected to make smart decisions, and special teams play is scrutinized for every detail. Every game is a test, and the Eagles have learned to approach each opponent with respect, knowing that even a team struggling in the standings can surprise on any given Sunday. The Panthers' upset over Green Bay reinforced this lesson. Underestimating any team in the NFL is a risk no one can afford to take. In addition to strategy and preparation, the culture within the Eagles' locker room has been instrumental to their success. Leadership, accountability, and professionalism create an environment where players are motivated to perform at their best. Each matchup, each practice, and each film session serves as a building block for the team's overall cohesion. Young players develop under experienced mentors. Veterans hold themselves and each other accountable, and every member of the roster understands the stakes involved. It's this combination of culture and preparation that has allowed Philadelphia to maintain a commanding position despite the volatility and unpredictability of the league. As the trade deadline approaches and rumors continue to swirl, the Eagles remain focused on what truly matters: performance on the field. The possibility of acquiring players like Trey Hendrickson or Jalen Phillips is intriguing, but it is the execution, the cohesion, and the ability to win games that will ultimately define this team's season. Rumors come and go, names change, and reports fluctuate. But what cannot be altered is the Eagles' commitment to preparation, execution, and maintaining their position at the top of the NFC East. Every opponent, every matchup, and every practice matters. The team knows the importance of consistency, the necessity of focus, and the value of capitalizing on every opportunity. The Panthers' victory, the Packers' struggles, and the division's shifting dynamics all serve as reminders that the NFL is unpredictable, and the Eagles have positioned themselves to take advantage of that uncertainty. By blending talent, strategy, and leadership, Philadelphia has built a team that not only competes at a high level, but also has the structure and foresight to sustain that success throughout the season and beyond. FlyEaglesFly News family, smash subscribe and hit like. Your support keeps the freshest Philadelphia Eagles updates flying in. Drop your take in the comments, and let's talk birds. Whispers are turning into a roar in the NFL world as ESPN has reportedly confirmed that Washington Commanders star wide receiver Terry McLaurin is on the move, and his destination, none other than the Philadelphia Eagles. While neither team has officially announced the deal, sources suggest that talks have reached an advanced stage, and a blockbuster trade could be imminent. McLaurin, known for his elite route running and jaw-dropping contested catches, has been a constant highlight reel for the Commanders since his entry into the league. His ability to stretch the field and make defenders look foolish has made him one of the most respected and feared receivers in the NFL. Yet, whispers in locker rooms and front offices hint that friction over contract negotiations and team direction may have nudged the star wideout toward greener pastures. Philadelphia, fresh off an electrifying season that saw them make waves in the playoffs, could be the perfect landing spot. The Eagles' offense, already potent, would gain an undeniable edge with McLaurin's speed, hands, and football IQ. Imagine pairing him with a quarterback who thrives under pressure and a receiving core that demands attention at every level. Defenses would be forced into impossible choices week after week. Analysts are already speculating about how the Eagles might restructure their offensive schemes to maximize McLaurin's impact, potentially turning him into the centerpiece of an already dynamic attack. Fans have taken to social media with a mix of excitement and disbelief. Eagles faithful are buzzing at the prospect of their team finally securing a true number one receiver, while Commanders supporters are grappling with the reality of potentially losing their franchise cornerstone. The NFL, never short on drama, seems poised for yet another story that could dominate headlines leading up to the trade deadline. While official confirmation is still pending, the chatter is undeniable. Terry McLaurin, a proven star and playmaker, may soon be donning midnight green. If the trade goes through, it could reshape the NFC East, rewrite power dynamics, and inject a fresh wave of energy into one of the league's most storied rivalries. Keep your eyes peeled. This rumor could become the blockbuster everyone has been waiting for. That's a wrap from FlyEaglesFly News. If you want the fastest Eagles updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Sound off in the comments. Let's talk birds.